This Melanie Minute talks about leadership, what it is in its different forms, and how people respond to it. Influence, authority, charisma, power, it's all about leadership. And so too is Season 4, a focus on leaders, especially our leaders of tomorrow. But first, a brief message about connecting possibilities. "10 years in the making, Connecting Possibilities, the story of Connect for Life," is Melanie Taddeo's newest publication about the charity she created in 2014.
I'm Melanie Taddeo, the founder of Connect for Life. Connecting Possibilities is a story of growth, leadership, and accessibility. It is the story of Connect for Life.
Available in paperback and EPUB versions globally through all major online retailers.
Good day and welcome to another Melanie Minute. What does leadership mean to you? I remember when I first thought of leadership many years ago, I thought this was somebody that was in charge of a country, a big organization or corporation, was the big boss, the person that made all the decisions, and that was that. And then I really didn't pay much attention to leadership for a number of years. It wasn't until I became an adult that I really started to understand leadership on a different level. And then, of course, when I reflect back, I saw that leadership definitely played a part in my life all the way through. Let's start with our personal lives. We have leaders in our family. It could be our parents, it could be grandparents, people that kind of lead the family. They give guidance, they give suggestions on, the way things should work for the family. They teach us lessons, and really they're there to encourage and help us grow. And then you think of educators. They're the leaders of the class, the principal in the school. They help guide students on a path that will hopefully set them up for success. But they're also there to handle any conflict or issues that may arise. In the workplace, of course, we have many different levels of leadership. Of course, we've got the top boss, the managers, the supervisors, the team leads. All of these people have a different role. So what do these all have in common? Well, they possess different skill sets. And this is where I want to talk what an actual definition of leadership is. Leadership is basically the act of leading a group of people or an organization. Simple to the point, but I also can add in here that's leading ourselves. So the first thing that a leadership quality that they may possess is self-awareness. We need to be self-aware as leaders. What is it we do well? Where are areas of growth? And also, what is going on? This may include emotional intelligence, being able to understand our emotions and how they impact others, and also the emotional intelligence of the people that we lead. Then, of course, you think about it, most leaders are respectful. So you want to have that element of respect. Integrity, you definitely want to demonstrate integrity. And then, of course, compassion is always a good thing. So having empathy and understanding what the people you're leading are going through. Not to the point where it kind of veers from the vision and mission. And that, of course, leads to the next one. Leaders need to have vision. They need to know what needs to be accomplished for the organization or for what's going to benefit the group of people they're leading. So they have an end goal. What are they working towards? Is it a mission? Is it a product? Is it target? Whatever it might be. And then, of course, we know that they have to be very good communicators. You need to be able to communicate to the people that you lead. So making sure your messaging is clear and concise, to the point, that you have that communication styles. And then, of course, we want to look at the fact that good leaders are organized. They know what needs to happen. They take actionable steps to make it happen, not just good on paper, but actually taking actions to make sure that they're leading and accomplishing the goals to reach the end goal. But another thing that I think is really, really important is being able to connect with the people you lead. Because although there's different types of leadership style, you really need to meet your people you're leading on their level. You need to be able to connect with them. So having that personality, that personability, that way to connect with one another, whether it's listening or sharing a story or a joke, whatever that calls for that particular individual. So understanding the people you lead. So the final thing that I'm going to say, quality of a leader, is resilient. You need to be resilient. You need to be courageous, and you need to be able to overcome obstacles and adversity as you meet it, because all leaders face many challenges in their role as a leader. So as I mentioned, there's many different leadership styles too, and it's dependent on the individual leader. But also these can be adaptable to the people you're leading. So let's just say the leading style of a leader of a country or city or any sort of leader that has a big, big demographic of people to lead would have to be a little bit authoritative, would have to be a little bit direct, definitely would need to take actionable items in the best interest of the people that they're leading. Somebody who's leading a family, again, might have to be a little bit more firmer, but have that compassionate side. They may be a little bit more democratic in listening to what people want and need. But then there are leaders that are going to do great things like organizations that may be a little bit altruistic, that meeting people where they're at to make sure they have what they need to succeed and they're all working towards a common mission. And then, of course, there's the ones that are a little bit bureaucratic. They're all about the rules and regulations, follow it to the letter of the law kind of thing. And that's a skill for some leaders that works well. And then there's the ones that are of coaching leadership style, and definitely others that perhaps are a little bit more systemic. So people that really are focused on systems. This might be somebody that is leading a team of IT professionals that really connect with people on that level. Whatever the leadership style is, that's fine, but not everybody responds well to the leadership style. I know for myself, I don't like to be micromanaged. I don't like people to tell me, you need to do this, and this, and then follow up and make sure you're doing it. I like to be given guidance and, perhaps suggestions. I like to listen. And I definitely want to ensure that I'm able to do what I do best in my style. Similarly, my leadership style is very focused on different scenarios. For example, when I lead at Toastmasters, I'm democratic because it's a volunteer organization that is based on consensus. For the club, I would ask everybody's feedback and then make a decision based on that. At Connect for Life, I'm visionary. I have democratic components with my board of directors, but I also, when I'm leading teams of placement students or volunteers, I'm a little bit more coaching slash, I'm not going to say authoritative, but I definitely tell people what needs to happen, and I teach them how. So altruistic maybe is the way I want to say, meeting people where they're at. And then, of course, a leader in my family. I'm the eldest sister, so I'm leading my sisters, making sure my parents are taken care of. But I am definitely all about, the supportive leader there. In my home, however, I can't be the leader. My husband and I co-lead together. We're partners. And that's the beauty about leadership. We have to know when it's time to take a step back and let others step forward and take the lead. So all of these aspects, and why am I talking about leadership? Well, season 4 is all about the leaders of tomorrow. And we're going to have a lot of great conversations this season from the young people, because really, truly, leadership needs to start at a young age, and it needs to be developed over time from lived experiences and lessons learned, because I think none of us were actually born leaders. We worked towards it. Perhaps we had some skill sets that were embedded in us from childhood, but over time we grew, we listened, we taught ourselves, and we learned from others. So that's why I want to have this conversation this season, is just hearing from the leaders of tomorrow, because they're innovative, they're creative, and they're also seeking guidance and mentorship from existing leaders. So I'm excited about this upcoming season to learn and grow with all of you, and love to hear your thoughts on leadership. And also, if you have any suggestions of young leaders for tomorrow that I should connect with, please reach out to me. Looking forward to talking soon. All the best.
You have been listening to Connect for Life, the podcast. Connect for Life is a Canadian-based registered charity committed to eliminating barriers for people with disabilities. Visit connectforlife.ca and join us in helping people with disabilities become the champions of their growth stories.